menopausal as fuck, you're at Costco, making these mistakes, stop. And I'm going to walk you through what exactly you should be doing, how your grocery haul should look. And if you are a Costco snob, you're an executive member, you got that black card. You whip out that black card, people are like, oh my God. They don't care about the black Amex. They care about the black executive Costco card. And if you're one of them, I see you because I am you. All right. So biggest mistakes I see. Okay. I'm gonna navigate in my brain through Costco, how my Costco is laid out in Woodland Hills, in the Valley, baby, SoCal. So, all right. You walk in, greet the guy at the front. You walk right. You beeline to the alcohol section because for me, that's the first section. It's like after like the refrigerators and like all the appliances and people trying to sell you shit is the alcohol. Now, the biggest mistake I always see is I'll watch people and the alcohol that they choose. Most people, I'm just like, okay, this person's not obviously on a healthy journey. Some people are like, oh, that girl's in her workout clothes. Like, she looks like she just came from a workout class. And she's buying the Casamigos, the Don Julio. I'm going to have people over. I'm going to impress them with these celebrity-backed tequilas. It's like, girl, that ain't it. That ain't it. If they ask me, I always help them. By the way, I had a Costco spotting the other day. I was just walking out, and this guy looks in my cart, and he's like, is that approved? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, is that approved? I'm like, what are you talking? He's like, I watch your reels all the time. Love your reels. Keep making content. I'm like, thanks, dude. I'm like, appreciate you. That was awesome. Alcohol, right? So don't go for the celebrity-backed tequilas. Costco actually has a brand new tequila. I'm going to cover it today. It's called, my God, slipped my mind. Something Vitas. Dos Vitas, I think? Dolce Vita? No, something like that. So the D and a V. And it's organic, and it's really clean. It's third-party tested. I looked up in Tequila Matchmaker. Solid. So when you're buying your tequila, look for the more craft. Like Patron actually is very additive free. It's a good one. It's kind of like the basic bitch of tequilas. But if you go that route, yeah, go there. Don't sleep on the Kirkland brand tequila, and don't sleep on the Kirkland brand vodka. The French one, not the other one. The French one, solid. Same region as Grey Goose. Really clean, 5 times distilled. Very, very clean, no impurities. Like you have that. No hangovers, okay? And the wines, I'll look at the wines. People are like going, oh, Paso Robles. You know, I'm in California. It's like Central Coast. Paso Robles, Napa, Sonoma wines. Those are great. It's like, nope. There's 73 additives that U.S. winemakers put in that Europeans have banned. It's banned by the EU. Not just like, oh, like restricted. It's banned. And U.S. winemakers can. So you can see the quality in the U.S. is not great since they're mass producing it. And most European vineyards will have organic traditional practices, even if it's not labeled as such. So look for the more Europeans. The drier, the better. You know, the whites are obviously drier than the reds, but if you're going for a red, you can go for like a European Pinot. You're good to go, right? Malbec, especially in Argentina, because they grow at altitudes that there's no pest set, so they don't have to use any pesticides. Organic grapes is a plus. And speaking of organic, the next section for me is I go from the alcohol, see what's new, see what's there, grab a couple bottles possibly, and then I go into the produce. Now, the produce is really good. Now, the biggest mistake I see menopausal women make is they just get either everything organic or nothing organic. And pesticides are an endocrine disruptor. And that's why a lot of times you can have really good blood work, but you're having all these symptoms of like belly fat gain, just exhaustion, brain fog, a lot of hormonal symptoms. Because hormones are just chemical messengers, right? The problem is you have what's called endocrine disruption. That can be from inflammation, that can be from pesticides, be a lot from other factors, right? And so, why is it so windy outside? That's crazy. So you want to make sure you're buying organic, but you don't need to get everything organic. Rule of thumb, if it has like a protective shell, the pesticides aren't going to get through to the meat of the actual food, so you don't need to worry about that. So things like bananas, you don't need to get organic, right? Things like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. There's a list right here. I think I have this list somewhere in my freebies. It's a clean 15, the dirty dozen. You want to get the ones that are dirty, organic, right? As you can see, most of them have a permeable shell or no shell at all. right? So, yeah, the Clean 15, you're good to go, right? Pineapple has a really, really big shell. So you could DM me for this. I think I have it. Or you could just look up Clean 15 Dirty Dozen. That's a huge thing. Vegetables, well, I'm sure it's backwards because this thing is mirrored. Yeah, I'm gonna save these. I always save these. Tramelangela. So that's what's gonna be for the protein or the proteins. That's my next thing. My goodness, fruits and vegetables, organic, right? Okay. So now we're gonna go into the meat section, the protein section. Huge mistake, obviously, is like you already know this. You're like, oh no, I'm making this mistake. It's not getting a protein for if you're menopausal, like the 0.6 to 1.1 grams per pound of body weight. That doesn't apply to you for protein. You're now at 0.8. You've entered a new threshold of life. 0.8 to 1.1 grams per pound of body weight. Why is that? Because you're catabolic. You're basically losing muscle faster. You're building it from estrogen, progesterone, everything dropping. So that's number one, right? That's obvious. But the biggest thing I always see is my clients, they'll be like, yeah, I got this pre-made, I got that and like, look, I get it because I'm like talking about pre-made proteins and how to not waste your time. But just depending only on pre-made proteins is not a good thing, right? The Amy Lou's, like the steak bites, the chicken bites, Hawks, Kevin's, even like they all have a shit ton of sodium. And if you're going to like split hairs and it's either you're not going to prep out and have too low protein, you're gonna have sodium. I mean, that's fine. Okay, have sodium, right? But if you're kind of like you want to major in the minors, you want to really get dialed in, as you should be. Yeah, you can't have it dominate. And even like the rotisserie chicken, you can get that, right? It's not gonna have a ton of sodium in it, so you can get something like that that's already pre-made. But the prepackaged stuff is typically gonna be higher in sodium, so just don't lean on that 100% all throughout the day. Okay. Now, the other part is I'm going in through, the nuts and the dates and all that stuff. And I'd say the biggest ignored thing, because everyone's like trying to like fats are, so calorie dense and da-da-da. You still need that. Like still eat your fats, still get your walnuts, still get your pecans, still get your almonds. Like good. Those are good fats. They're going to help you burn more fat too, right? It's going to help cell membrane health. It's going to help your hormones. It's going to help a lot of different factors. Okay. So still don't stay away from those. It's a huge mistake I see. The biggest mistake I always see is women will just, I'll look at their carts at the end. I mean, some of them I'm like, you clearly just gave up or you have no information. Like you just do, you don't have an internet. Cause I'm like looking at their cart. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like it's the craziest shit in the world. And I'm like, okay, well, you're just not trying. And then the other part is they're going hyper clean, right? Just all clean foods. It's it. They got their egg whites. They got their fruits. They got their veg. They got everything clean. It's a huge mistake, right? If you look at what sustainability is, it's a combination of what's going to be enjoyable and what's going to be realistic. And you eating clean every single day with no alcohol, no fun foods, no desserts, no nothing, that's not going to be a sustainable solution. If you can't do it forever, don't do it now. So just as tightly as we're making sure our clients are eating the foods and taking the supplements that we give them, we're also making sure just as tightly as daily they're adding in the nutrient avoids, the alcohol, following the 80-20 rule so they don't go, because the biggest thing we always used to see is the clients, we'd call them cyborgs. They were just dialed in, all clean food all the time. They would come back onto the program time and time and time again because they didn't teach their body moderation. They didn't teach their mind moderation. They taught their mind and their body restriction, right? So they gained it all back and they kept repeating. I'm like, okay, well, next time they came in, I was like, nope, daily, like, no, you're like, why are you mad at me? I'm like, well, because you didn't have any nutrient devoid foods, you didn't have any alcohol. And I'm like going hard on them, they finally get it, and then they don't see them again. So it's good. Finish it. So very, very important. I'd say the last thing is like the supplements, making sure you're covering your bases. Kirkland's got a very, very good krill oil, more bioavailable than fish oil. It's got a really good Nature's Bounty magnesium glycinate. The U Theory, I actually got these the other day. The KSM 66, the ashwagandha. These are great. Their L-theanine by Sports Research is really good. I'm trying to think. Probiotics are obviously really good. You can't really fuck those up. Yeah, those are the solid ones that I would make sure you have the staples on, just thinking off the top of my head. So I just went into my grocery haul for menopause for you guys. You're welcome for being real. I feel I get overwhelmed trying to figure out what I need to be, what I need, and getting items in one place. I'm not sure. I hate the answer. I don't know what you mean, so I'm gonna pretend like I do know what you mean, and hopefully I'll answer some of your question. Okay, so I feel like I get overwhelmed trying to figure out what I need and getting items in one place. So I'm guessing that you're thinking in your head, I get overwhelmed trying to figure out how to get all my food from one grocery store, like get everything, right? It's not a one size fits all. You can for sure, right? And I have a bunch of freebies. I'm like my no prep Costco meal plan with literally every no prep option, and you can kind of fill in the gaps with the other one. But the biggest thing is to make this really easy for you guys. You could DM me for my food list, my anti-inflammatory food list. It'll just kind of follow that. But you want to lay out, because there's columns on that. It says protein, it's a column. Carbs is a column, and fats is a column, and it has all the foods options in there. From there, just to make it very easy, you want to pick basically and kind of plan out your week. An easy thing you could do if you're like a very type A structured person, or if that's like your Achilles heel and you need to be, mapping out your week. Go into MyFitnessPal, spend 10 minutes just kind of mapping out what you're going to have for the week. Make them take like 3 different menus for yourself. And then you can kind of like either chat GPT, screenshot it and say like, hey, get my grocery list for like 5 people or whatever. If you're a family of 5, and it'll give you the grocery list. That's one way to do it, is just to pre-plan it. Now, the other way is just to make sure, like, from those columns, you could just choose whichever one you want. So if you want to have, okay, on this I have Siggy's probiotic Greek yogurt. I'm going to have some pre-made Amy Lou's chicken breast. I'm going to get rotisserie chicken. I'm going to get some ground turkey. And now I have all my meals planned out for protein. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to go through carbs. I'm going to get my fruit. I'm going to get my organic strawberries. I'm going to get my bananas. I'm going to get the value pack of lettuce. And they have Primal Kitchen dressing. So you have like condiments and the add-ons. So you can kind of like circulate and plan out. I do it ahead of time if you can. Just leverage ChatGPT, because they'll help you just plan for the exact amount to buy. But it's never going to be perfect. Like, especially if you're a family of 5, kid's sick or doesn't want to eat that food, which is the case always in the Conrad household, it seems like. Cool. Yeah, Tracy, just message me on Instagram. I'll get that for you. Creatine. Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, creatine. The creatine that, what is it? It's what's that brand? My goodness. Well, you can't really fuck up creatine, to be honest with you. Creatine monohydrate is the most creatine. It's the most research creatine, and it's like activated charcoal. Like if you try to like cut corners, like it's not worth it, because it's like it doesn't matter. So you can get that really, really cheap, anyways. Orgain, yeah, Orgain has the brand at Costco. That's great. I wouldn't mix it with your caffeine, because it does offset a lot of the effects from creatine. That's been research proven, but that's more so if you're like exceeding 200 milligrams a day. I would just have your creatine before or after your workout, just so you can tap better and have your coffee in the morning, 90 minutes after you wake up. Thyroid issues, can't take ashwagandhas. Any suggestions for this? So yeah, so you kind of got like, you want to look at serotonin stimulating, what's it called? Yeah, and by the way, if you have thyroid issues, like you also shouldn't be taking magnesium glycinate at the same time, because it competes for the same receptors. You shouldn't be taking St. John's wort at the same time, because I was going to say, I'll take St. John's wort. I'm guessing on levothyroxine or some other thyroid med. Yeah, I would look at L-tryptophan, 5-HTP. Those are really good ones to chill. Yeah, krill oil is more bioavailable than fish oil. So basically, like you have to take like 1,000 milligrams to get good dose. KK Douglas. What about other protein powders? Protein powders. So there's one ancient or Ascent. It's grass-fed whey. It's really good. That's a solid one. If you want to go on more like a gut-friendly, gut-conscious route, you can. I was just reading the other message. What was that question? Because I was reading another question. This is how my brain works. I don't even know what I was in the middle of saying. Krill oil, fish oil, protein powders. Oh yeah, Orgain. Orgain, yeah. Orgain has a good plant-based one there too. Garden Life is solid. Yeah, that should be helpful. So I'd start with that. The Ascent Whey. Isopure is good in terms of its macros. It does have stevia and or sucralose, or not stevia, it has sucralose or aspartame. So not the biggest fan. I mean, the research is pretty conflicting on both sides. You can find research on both sides. I just make it easy and stay away from it. Just not worth it. But I hope this is helpful. If you guys want any of my free guides, I also have a Costco alcohol guide, by the way, that ranks like, top shelf, mid shelf, and then just kind of like more cost conscious alcohols. And then no PREP COSTCO list. I have my anti-inflammatory food guide. These will all help you out. You're about to mention a more friendly. Yeah, the Orgain, the plant-based. The Orgain or the Garden of Life. I think most Costco's have Garden of Life, but I know they all have Orgain, so that's a good one. Fairlife protein shake from Costco. Good to put in coffee. Yeah, they're good to put in coffee. They taste really good. Yeah, and I'd say obviously like if you're trying to blunt that cortisol spike, like definitely make sure you get some food in there. Real food's always better, but yeah, if you're just like adding it for extra protein, it's an easy way to get your protein up in your coffee. It's a solid one. Yeah, the Fairlife ones are really good. They're really clean, grass-fed cows. What yogurt? I mean, yogurt's not the best at Costco, to be honest with you. Some have probiotic filled yogurt. I would honestly like the grass-fed Bellwether one, even though the macros aren't that great. I would say probably that's the best one, just from the quality of it. Filled with probiotics, just from grass-fed cows, all that stuff. Sharona, you can DM me. I'll send that to you. Flav City protein powder. I don't know enough about the Flav City protein powder. Stevia, allulose, yeah, yep, yeah, and the stevia and allulose, monk fruit. There's another one. Yeah, I mean, if you don't need any of those, ideally, but if you do, yeah, obviously go that route. All right, guys, I gotta hop off. Hope this helps. Love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.